Hello, Leo friends. I'm Annie Botticelli, and welcome to my Leo January 2024 Astrology Horoscope Forecast. This is for you if Leo is your sun sign, your moon sign, your rising sign, or any other Leo placement you're listening for. What I'm going to talk about here is part of your astrological picture. And if you're a very late degree Leo friend, so birthdays August 15th through the rest of the sign, or Leo placements 23 degrees through the rest of the sign, I suggest you additionally listen to my Virgo report, as your very late degree friends will benefit from both readings. I'm calling the theme of this month High Drama on the Leo Seas, as you have a full moon in your sign. This does not happen often, and it is a big deal. And this particular wolf moon is particularly potent. I do have a sister report to listen to called January 2024 Astrology Wolf Moon Mischief, where I will go into more details, but we will talk about this because it's very relevant to you as a Leo. This is happening in your sign. But we've got lots more to talk about to best understand the astrological currents this month so that you can make the most of the potentials and watch out for the things that are more dicey. I'm going to flash on the screen the chart that I'm using. So those of you who are more visual and who want to study astrology and follow along, you can take a screenshot of this and then you can follow along. I'll make some reference back to it periodically. And for the rest of you watching on YouTube, you'll get the beautiful slideshow back. This is a particularly lovely one in my mind this month. I think they're all pretty. I love to pick out pictures. So if you're on the podcast version, you can see the visuals, Annie Botticelli on YouTube. If you want to stay out of my visual mischief, you can just find me, Annie Botticelli, Astro Kisses podcast on any major and some minor podcast providers. Okay, so we're not going to go right into talking about the full moon in your sign, although that is a big piece here. I want to layer in storylines from the beginning of the month that go towards the end of the month so we can have a sequential, organized discussion here. The first thing that I want to talk about, and this is something super exciting for Leos, this is a discussion we started for the December report. It continues this month, which is all the Sagittarius frenzy. When we have planets moving through a fellow fire sign, then I'm a fire sign as well, that's why I say fellow fire sign, too, we get lit up like the 4th of July. So, you know, Venus, if you're looking at the chart, look down in the bottom right in the 5th house, you'll see that 5. In the yellow wheel has 1 through 12, and look at the 5th house. Houses in astrology are fields of experience that we have as humans. You see Venus, Ceres, Mercury, Mars, all in Sagittarius still. It was like that in December. It's going to be like that in the early part and kind of wearing off as we move through January, but it's still there, which means that the stodginess and the earthiness and the groundedness, which can all be good things, but those are not things that speak the language of Leo as much as the fire signs do. All of that will come, but for now, the Sagittarius and fire party continues in the form of trines, which are the most favorable aspect in all of astrology, which give kisses to Leo placements, inspiration, ambition, action, optimism. And this is particularly true because the ruler of Sagittarius, Jupiter, also went direct a couple of days before this new year. So at the end of December, the gas giant Jupiter that rules Sagittarius, expansion, luck, benevolence, which was sleeping since September, has now woken up and it is ready to rumble, ready to breathe life back into those projects that lost their inspiration. You might have become a little apathetic, a little bored, feeling, just a little uninterested in things because of Jupiter going retrograde. And you might start to see life being breathed back into those bigger visions, bigger goals, bigger projects, and just your expression in general, because the house of Leo, which is the 5th house, is lit up by the Sagittarius planets. So all of that weight, all of that energy there from the Sagittarius energies is also energizing your Leoness, not just through the trine, but because it's moving through the 5th house that's ruled by Leo. So your creative expression, children, dating, romance, love, your bucket list, your things you've always wanted to do, your creative expression, your passions, all of that, and your pleasures. All of that is being lit up beautifully. Now, if you are a zealot, as many fire signs tend to be, I know I have 9 placements in Sagittarius, so I tend to be a little bit excessive myself. And I have a lot of Leo friends that I also see do this. Then you will be continuing your zealotry as the month and year starts. But as the planets move into Capricorn, things start to get more grounded. You start to clear up the messes that may have been made by the excess, start paying things off, getting things tight and, organized and restructured, and build your new month and your new year with structure and perseverance and dedication and discipline, which will be what we shift into as the month goes on. Saturn, I'm saying, in this month is in a kind of a good mood for the most part. Saturn is not usually in a good mood, He's the chop buster, as I like to call him, taskmaster, discipline bringer, not super fun, very regimented, very not creative, and in the flow, the timekeeper. But I think it's a very welcome relief after we have an extended Sagittarian party that we do get back to, and it could feel very good to get back to a routine, back to structure, back to organization, wrap up the previous year, do your taxes, do your new paperwork and establishing things for this year, get your plan, get your, intentions together, your resolutions, and as the month progresses, start to implement positive change in your life. This year is going to feel like a new year right from the beginning because of Jupiter waking up, and also because of the really major stress that we had in August, September, October, November. The eclipse season was very dramatic. And, we really shed a lot of karma. And so in that way, it feels like a new year because a lot of, many of you have walked through a transition now and, are really feeling like things are new. Having Pluto on your 7th house cusp has not been fun for you, especially if you're an early degree Leo. So like a July born Leo. And the earlier in those degrees, like my one of my besties who's right on the 22nd, getting pummeled by Pluto. If you want to look at the chart, look at the 7th house cusp. That's the line right before the 7th house with the semicircle, like a little cross reddish brown thing there. That's Pluto. Pluto, from the whole house perspective, is now bringing its birth, death, transformation, rebirth energy to your relationship space and to your physical space because it's opposing the 1st house cusp there, 180 degree angle. So this has been happening throughout, this year. Many of you may have experienced a lot of death in your life, sometimes literal, sometimes figurative, but especially you early born friends, you've been really going through it. So that's been no joke. So this power, like nuclear power generator, is giving you an opportunity to redo your relationship with yourself and redo your relationship with others. And that's true for all placements with some particular intensity for earlier degree placements. So this year is feeling really like a new year in that way. A lot of clean slate energy, a lot of, karmic mischief being left behind, Jupiter waking up, January 1st, Mercury going direct, that clearing out in the, a couple of weeks after as we get into the new year. So it's opening this beautiful window of action, ambition, clarity, and bigger dreams and bigger visions. Okay, so by the end of the month, we're in this space of really, really, really having more direction as to what it is you're supposed to be doing, and then having the perseverance to do these tedious things. And then as the sun gets into Aquarius around January 21st, that's the same day that the Mercury shadow is clear. These energies start to oppose your energies and really enliven your relationship sector. So that's kind of the storyline there for Leos. The Capricorn energies will bring zest and vibrance, focus, a plan to your health, your supplements, your wellness, your office dynamics, your work structure, if you work from home, your home office space, your pets, your animals. There's a lot of focus there. As Mars and Mercury and Venus join the Sun in Capricorn, it's really going to help you to get focused and accomplish great things in a short amount of time. And a lot of this is around your wellness and your daily experience, your daily surroundings, your daily aesthetics. So that's going to be a lot of opportunity for you to redo your schedule and have a whole new groove. January 11th is the new moon in Capricorn, time for your new moon wishes, especially about Capricorn topics. Something that's going to be very strongly highlighted for all signs, but definitely relevant for you as a Leo, is your work, your career, your things having to do with father or father figures, anything having to do with your work out in the world. That can be for money, like employment, or that can be a passion project that has nothing to do with earning money. It's just you gifting the world with something that you're good at and bringing all of that inspiration that we talked about into some sort of tangible form where you can help others. It's very possible that one of the ways you're going to wind up helping yourself at this time is to help other people. And if you've been scrambling and kind of alone in it, you stepping into a teacher role to help people with the things you've figured out may help you to better uphold the things that you've learned. So just kind of look out for ways that you can guide and support other people. And this will serve a purpose also in helping you to get solidified in what it is that you're building. So when Jupiter woke up, not only did our big ambitions and the other things that may have been sleeping since September wake up, it's also waking up your career and your work and your employment sector. So all of these Capricorn-related things that are being accentuated for all signs because all of these planets are moving through Capricorn, specifically for Leo, are waking up from now, especially into May, because Jupiter is moving through your 10th house, which is ruled by Capricorn. So if you're looking at the chart, look at the 10th house, that little yellow bar that says 10, and then there's a fancy 4 at the top there, which would be like the 12 o'clock position if it were a clock. That's Jupiter, and that's going to spend from now until May going through that 10th house, expanding and bringing luck and benevolence to your work sector. So it's very additive. And Jupiter likes to get its fingers in a lot of pudding pies. So you may take on a second job or a second project, or the work that you have might help you to be more diverse in your approach. This tends to be also not either or. The energy of Jupiter is very also-y kind of, and I have a lot of planets in Sagittarius myself, so I'm ruled by Jupiter. So when people ask me, do you want the Brussels or the asparagus? Then I would say both, rather than either or. It's a very and also sign or planet. So this is how it's going to be in your work and career sector. Do you want to keep your job and start a side job? Yes, I want to do both. Do you want to wear this hat in your work and then also wear this hat? Yes, I want to do both, not either or. So you've got that, especially going on from now to May. It will be very enriching and broadening for you, and it could definitely bring you more money as well. Okay, so let's talk about this wolf moon. Some natives people will call, have different names for the full moons that we have. And this first full moon that we have at this time is the wolf moon. And this is on the 25th. Okay, so this is fullness, completion, fruition, drama, for better or worse, to all things Leo. Leo ruling, we talked about this before, creative expression, fun, pleasures, children, creativity, child rearing, romance, dating, true love. All of those areas are accentuated. So something can come to major fruition at this time. And then there's the twist. The twist is that Pluto is next to Aquarius as it creates this, full moon connection with the sun. It's just 5 degrees away there. Then we also have a square with Mars, the god of war, and Chiron, the wounded healer, in fire and earth signs. So this is pretty intense. And good things can come from it in the way that it can crack something open. Sometimes it takes us silly humans having a point of conflict to get us to do what we're supposed to do. I hate that that's true, but it is sometimes. So you may have some strife or conflict that happens, and I'm definitely going to issue the hide under a rock if you can during those days. I issued this warning in October. Unfortunately, I did not want to be right with that, but October was a mess, and we know the terrible things that happened at that time for the world and for, a lot of individuals went through a lot at that time. And there were more factors that were going on in October than there are at this time, but this is a sort of a nasty energy. I don't want you to be afraid, though. I want you to be aware. It's kind of like if there's going to be a terrible storm, you don't want to not know about that. You want to know, okay, maybe I don't have to go out that day in that storm. If you know beforehand, that's why we watch the weather. You can base some plans around it, and if you can get out of something, then you can get out of it. If there's something that's pending that's dicey or explosive, you may want to tread lightly at this time. If there's someone who's unstable or some danger or vulnerability, you might want to err on cautious side at this time. And this is particularly true for Leos, and it's particularly true for early degree Leos. So July born Leos, that, that spectrum closer to 5 degrees, this is going to hit you more personally if you are a July born Leo, or if you have a 0 to 10 degree Leo placement. Good news is that, well, I would say that these energies last from around January 19th, could be a little earlier, but through the rest of the month, strongest around the 25th. But following them, we've got 3 beautiful aspects between the 27th and the 28th that involve Jupiter, expansion and luck, Uranus, happy surprises, Mercury, information, Venus, love and beauty and money. So hopefully lemonade can be made from the mischief. If you want to see more about those aspects, what you can expect and have them detailed in my sweet and salty dates, definitely go to anniehelpsyou.com. Put your email address and name in there. Go in the welcome letter, go to the archive link, find the January astrology. It will be up at the end of November. You can also see November, December astrology and my educational newsletters and everything else there. You can see my secret star portal as well. So you can look at my 18 months of archives and my written horoscopes and all of the goodies there. And if you want to learn astrology, you can see my Basics course, or you can see my Becoming a Professional Astrologer Mastery Course. It's a certification course too, where I can take you from wherever you're at to being confident in doing readings and earning money from them. Also work on your financial consciousness and you accepting money for your love of the stars while you help people. So you can see all that at anniehelpsyou.com. I hope you have a wonderful month, and I'll see you next month. Bye.